Hello and welcome back to the channel for another video. In this video I'm going to talk about HarleyTBS potentially losing their channel. If you don't know who HarleyTBS is, I don't know what the TBS stands for, but Harley is a creator with 83.1k subscribers and they generally do videos around more extreme topics than I do. 2 days ago they uploaded this. My channel might be banned, which is what we're going to look at today. Just to give some background to this, they posted 2 days ago and said, today's video discusses how my YouTube channel could be deleted due to copyright system implemented by YouTube that was recently exploited by a Japanese company. Please watch video because it's important and main creators you watch could lose their channel over this. Now I haven't seen the video, but sounds interesting and I'll react to it momentarily. I actually took some inspiration from his Kai videos. If you see this looks a bit similar to a video I did. The thumbnail I may have taken inspiration. Let's get into watching Harley's video. So this is Harley's video. Let's watch and talk about it.
It would be pointless to start this video by explaining to you all the ways that YouTube's copyright system is broken.
It would, yeah, take a long time.
Everybody knows how broken the system is, if
They do?
they've spent any time online at all. Cases like Totally Not Marks.
Interesting that you mentioned Joey here. I made a video sometime recently, past few months I think, about Joey maybe losing his channel.
YouTube's copyright system has many flaws, and as a creator myself, I can tell you that if I include more than a 3-second clip from a copyrighted work, my video gets taken down by the rights holder immediately.
Does it? Really? That's strange. I don't usually have copyright issues. I know that I made a Genius of Tom Scott video recently and that was claimed, but usually like my Tessa Violet video is fine, I think. Usually, I guess it depends how popular the thing is, and if it's a TV show or whatever, then it's a bit different. I'm a bit surprised to hear that, you know.
Immediately, with no regard for whether that video is transformative. A 3-second or more clip. That's ridiculous. 3 seconds of footage is automatically deemed by the system warrant enough to take the video down.
So I guess I'd assume that that would mean that if it was something like Dragon Ball Z or something, that it would be blocked worldwide, the video, I assume, just based off that. Because it wouldn't be struck with a copyright, I don't think. That's a bit strange.
It's stupid and it makes no sense, and everybody knows that. But in a situation like this one, the issue goes way beyond the realm of just regular YouTube copyright issues and into the malicious abuse of that system by a Japanese company to try and take down a smaller creator and remove years worth of their work from.
I have a feeling this is going to be Gil Vasana. I have a feeling that that's what this is based around. As I said, I haven't seen this video. But I did make a video about Gil Vasana. It'll be in the iCard. Up there. Not here, but like up there.
From the platform. Before this video begins though, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing.
Same. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to this channel. Be cool.
Let's talk about how my channel and many other creators' channels may be at risk of absolute complete deletion because of a fundamentally flawed system that even YouTube likely can't fix unless they do the same thing they did for Totally Not Mark and geo-lock content outside of Japan.
Geo-lock content outside of Japan. Is that what they did with Totally Not Mark? I know I saw that Totally Not Mark. If you don't know, there'll be a video in the description about Totally Not Mark's situation. I know that some of it have been resolved, but I haven't looked into it.
Weed, a smaller YouTuber with 20k subscribers, uploads the seemingly first video on their channel, if you weren't aware.
Oh, 20k subs, so it's not Gil Vasana.
Of how much content was on there beforehand. Swede released a video explaining how they'd had years worth of their content taken down by Shop Pro for a seemingly unjustified reason,
I did actually hear about this, but I didn't know the full context.
By, as they believe it, all of that video being transformative to the best of their ability. They explain on Twitter that Shop Pro has developed a technique that should scare everyone. If any Japanese company sees you using their IP, they can take down your entire channel legally in the space of 3 months, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. There's a 2-step program, and it's very concerning.
Harley's gonna continue reading this. Doesn't sound too good.
Step 1. Create a rudimentary, small claim in Japan. Aim it at the offending creator and send it to YouTube, demanding the videos be taken down. Make sure the fine is too big to ignore, but too small to be worth legal fees. Make it confusing and obtuse. And step 2, since it's legal proceedings, YouTube steps away and washes their hands. The videos go down instantly with no option to counterclaim, and the YouTuber is forced to go through the Japanese law to fight this case. This is concerning.
That is concerning, yes, Harley, I agree that's concerning. I assume that you're going to talk about fair use in Japan.
For multiple reasons. Mainly because this is a legal proceeding, despite it not being a severe one, YouTube has to step away from this case.
Okay, that was not my first thought, but that is a good point.
Because YouTube has to obey safe harbor laws, which means they don't get involved in legal disputes, otherwise they lose their neutrality and open themselves to legal lawsuits, YouTube can't do anything here in this situation to protect the creator from an unfair claim. They have to step away from legal actions unless they want to fuck themselves over. And then, because this legal dispute was filed in Japan, the YouTuber is forced to go through this legal dispute in Japan, where fair use law is basically non-existent.
There you go. There's the thing about fair use in Japan. And it'd be difficult, you know.
And using a Japanese IP in any way in your content out there can even get you arrested in certain cases with YouTube channels where YouTubers have been arrested over.
Oh yeah, I heard about this as well. First convictions in Japan handed down to YouTube movie recap posted. Earlier this year, we reported the arrest of 3 people for posting 10-minute videos on YouTube that gave a full synopsis of movies in subtitles or narration over clips or still images from the film. Known as fast movies in Japan, these videos are not uncommon, but on the 16th of November, all 3 were found guilty of copyright infringement.
This system is incredibly impossible to dispute because there's no option to counterclaim because it's a legal dispute. They are fundamentally fucked in this situation. Swede explains further in their video exactly how ShopPro did this to them. And honestly, the way ShopPro is acting maliciously here is really concerning. Because that any Japanese company could do the exact same thing. In totally not Mark's case, if a company like Toei was to try and do something like that, he would be fucked. Because while they took down thousands of his videos, because they did it through YouTube's copyright system, they had to follow American law, and because YouTube geo-blocked Totally Not Mark's content in Japan, they'd have to take it to another country's legal dispute to fight the case where fair use would exist, and as such they likely wouldn't win.
That's an interesting point, Harley, about how they'd have to fight internationally if they filed a copyright strike. That's rather interesting. So it's a whole bunch of elements. I guess the one solution is don't use Japanese IPs. Don't use stuff to do with like anime or whatever, you know. Of course there's channels based around that, and there's movie reviewers who review things like Studio Ghibli movies and stuff like that. And then there's also people who would do like probably episode reviews of Dragon Ball Z or something like that, you know. Basically, as much as this is annoying for people on YouTube who cover anime and things like that, all they're really doing, Japan and the companies, is just shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to promotion. Because all this is basically people not wanting to talk about their products and promote it to a wider audience, which it can suck. It can be really bad because there is a portion of people who have this as their career, you know. So for them, I feel for them, you know. I feel for that. Maybe they'll see that the promotion is actually a good thing. I don't know. Anyway, on with the video.
However, because this legal dispute is filed in Japan, Swede has to follow Japanese law unless their content is geo-blocked in Japan, which is why they're saying that every YouTuber should be able to block their content in certain countries. I agree, 100%. There is a slight risk here of piracy.
Want to block your content in a certain country, so because it's held by Japanese people, the IP, the intellectual property and stuff, and the copyright, you want to block it in Japan. That's so that there's no chance of copyright issues. I think in some cases that other companies that maybe broadcast things could actually take down videos if they wanted as well. Like a broadcaster or someone who has the international rights to Pokemon or something could take down something Pokemon related, surely. Surely the geo-blocking in Japan, for example, isn't a solution. I don't know.
It would make Japanese companies struggle a little more, but as long as that content isn't fair use, Japanese companies could easily still take that content down through YouTube's copyright system without the false DMCAs or risk of something like this happening.
Good point, Harley. I think that talks about what I was talking about, if I understand it correctly.
Able to geo-block their content, I've had to take down videos that include reviews or any portions of copyrighted content from Japan, because otherwise I risk those videos being struck down and me losing my entire channel because of it. And even then, that doesn't protect me entirely, because those videos are privatized, not deleted, which means if YouTube's fucked up backwards system somehow allows them to take down the content anyway.
3 strikes in a 90-day period means channel deletion, generally. That's like the rules. So even if you have like 3 in like over years and they're privatized and the company somehow finds a way to claim it, then you're stuff.
And any YouTuber who produces reviews, like Mother's Basement, who made a post about this situation, if someone like Mother's Basement ends up in this situation, they're completely fucked, because their content relies so much on copyrighted clips, despite it being all transformative, meaning if a company tried to abuse the system like this, there would be no possible defense for them.
That also kind of addresses what I was saying about copyright outside Japan and whatnot.
What's happened here is unjustified, and honestly, if anything, we need to call for YouTube to give us geo-blocking so that these legal disputes are handled in other regions, hopefully, where fair use exists.
Harley, I think, is saying that wants geo-blocking to happen so that if it's blocked in Japan, it's not so that the companies can't see it, it's so that if they want to do legal proceedings, they can't do it in Japan because of their fair use laws, and if something were to happen legally, that it would be more fair against the creator or for the creator. It's an interesting angle. I mean, kind of forcing the hand of the company, I'm not sure I 100% agree with it, though, to be honest.
Copyright is confusing and difficult, and honestly, I'm not the most educated on copyright law. That should be obvious because I'm a college student and not a law professional, but nonetheless, I should make it quite obvious I don't know everything I'm talking about. However, I do know that content that is fair use should be allowed to remain on the platform, and YouTube should step in situations like this to make sure Japanese companies can't abuse the fact that they don't have fair use in their country to force creators into losing their entire channels if they make fair use reviews of Japanese IP.
That makes total sense, Harley. That's Harley's video about it, and that's about why Harley could lose his channel. Although it's not really about Harley losing his channel, it's more about anyone losing their channel, as the community post suggests. So it's a bigger problem than just Harley's channel. You know, he titled it that way, and I'll title my video that way, and yeah. Hopefully this was somewhat interesting to you, though. I've made a few videos about this recently, around the same kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Peace.